Hey y'all. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Diamond. That is my government. I don't even like to say government. That was my giving at birth. Okay. Anyways, um, I'm Diamond Slay L, and one of my all-time favorite things to do is read. And it's been like that all my life that I can remember that I was able to read. Um, so anyway, one of the books that I am diving into right now is Wild Thing, the short spellbinding life of Jimi Hendrix. So I'm only actually in chapter one. I'm literally on the last page. I haven't read the last page yet, but I did take some notes. And I decided like this is what I do, and so like why not share the reflections that I get from the books? Because one thing about reading, like when I read, I go into another world. I enter into the world that is being presented, and I get a chance to walk in the shoes of a character or two or three, um, and like kind of embody those experiences or like be able to create a perception around what may be happening just based on what's happening in my real life. So yeah, so when I was a kid, I started on like I think the classics everybody know, Junie B. Jones. That was my dog. I had collections. My second grade teacher, shout out to Miss Morgan. You feel me? She like was a big advocate for it. She needed a collection. Get her the collection. I think she got me one at one point. Not gonna lie, that was my one of my all-time favorite teachers. Definitely, I don't want to just. It is what it is. I love you, Miss Morgan. If you still here and can see this, I love you, girl. And then I had another teacher, um, Miss Johnson, and Miss Johnson was at Callaway. So I went to Callaway for 1 year in the eighth grade. And I'm just naming names, and y'all probably don't know what this is, but I'm from Mobile, Alabama. So if you know, you know. I went to Callaway for 1 year, and Miss Johnson really noticed my gift in reading and writing, and she definitely um, gave that extra boost of confidence. And so, shout out to you, Miss Johnson. Anyway, yeah. So I just want to give talk about like some of the notes that I've taken just out of this first chapter. I highlighted some of the quotes that really just stood out to me. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's see. Oh man. First thing I want to say is that I noticed that his brother spoke about him in the book, in his first chapter at least, and just was speaking on like how he was as a child, and he was talking about how he didn't just catch on to like the reading and the math and you know what I'm saying, the basic curriculum like everybody else did, but he definitely showed that he was intelligent in areas as far as like building and making things and things like that. Just really being in his creative bag, and I just felt like that was so beautiful and like a confirmation in my spirit of things that I've noticed just about the way we go about education. Um, so like I often make it a point to like make this point of like when I was growing up, I was an A on a roll student. So elementary on through middle school, baby A's, B here and here, but for real, I was an A on a roll student. B's got a little. That's what you could tell. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Um, But yeah, up until like high school, definitely like I was just looking at my transcript literally like a day or so ago, and I was like, "Ugh, boy, Diamond, this." If you was to look at these transcripts and think you know me, child, you would be
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man on the wall.
period. Spider Man, Spider Man. I was networking, babe. That's what I can say about high school. It was fun while it lasted. But yeah, and what I noticed about myself was that when I thrived in things that I wanted to be a part of. So like after school, like the first choice wasn't college, of course, because I had skipped so much school that it was like, school for what? You know, all I knew was the public school system, so I was uninterested. Um, and so I went into cosmetology. I loved it that. You feel me? Doing hair, just getting that opportunity to just let my creative run wild a little bit. That felt good, but then also I really found I feel like I sat into my purpose, right? Where I was like, okay, this is cool, but like for the future, is it truly realistic for you? You know what I'm saying? It's definitely for somebody, but is this like for you full time? Is this you? And I just came up with nah. So I ended up going into medical and doing all the things as far as being a nursing assistant and a companion and behavioral health aid and things like that, and further my education and math. So back to what I was, because let me remember where we was at with all this. Okay. When I got to college, when I started pursuing college on my own, when I recognized, okay, I'm good. I can really do school. You know, being in cosmetology, I recognized that like I definitely still had some gift in me when it comes to reading and just studying. You know, I was fascinated with that part of cosmetology too. I wasn't just doing the hair, but I was in the books. So I recognized that. Ended up pursuing college in the realm of the medical field, the psychologies and things like that. And then I really just recognized that okay, it's not school that's an issue. Is the issue is not with education. It is the forms of education. Because like one thing I did also learn about myself is that I'm a hands-on learner. Um, Even when it comes to like books, like I want to be able to read myself. I want to be able to put my hands on things. I like to experiment, but I also like to gain perspective for somebody else in the realm as well. So anyway, I resonated just with, I empathized with like someone having to be in this position, like going to school and you're feeling like in some people's eyes you're unintelligent, but you're actually just gifted elsewhere, and your gift is just
Spider-Man,
kind of
Spider-Man, Spider-Man on the wall.
unacknowledged. Yeah, the gift is just kind of unacknowledged in those spaces. Um, that's I feel like that's one thing that our public education system lacks right now is like really acknowledging the gifted in a way that you're not belittling their gifts by putting them in remedial courses or and applying medications to try to suppress energy instead of channeling energy and directing the force, so yeah, that was one thing. That was big.